All right, let's talk about enums. Enums, or enumerations, if you like to say a lot of syllables, contain cases. Think of cases like the choices to a multiple choice question. Let's say you're creating an array to store blood types. Okay, this is one way. You could say let blood types equals to A plus, A minus. It's a lot to type. I'm not going to type all of them out. B plus, B minus, and let's do O plus. And I think that's good enough for me. All right, sorry to everyone else I've excluded. This is okay, I suppose, but you could see that I was struggling to type all these out, and it would have been very easy for me to make a mistake. If I wanted to check a variable's blood type afterwards, I could say if blood types square bracket 0 equals to, and I just slip, and instead of typing A plus, I type A equals. Okay, then my code would be very hard to debug because it's not easy to find this one error inside many other hundreds of lines. Okay, so generally using strings to store blood types is pretty dangerous. What if someone assigns you a blood type of C++ or something like that? Okay, you should generally use something called an enumeration to define what values a variable could possibly take. This way, someone can't assign you something that isn't predefined. Okay, so this is bad. I'm going to say enum blood type, and blood type is a capital because this is a type after all. Okay, and I'm going to say case A plus, case A minus, case B plus, and so on and so forth. Okay, so this way, if I were to create a variable that had a certain blood type, for example, I could say let my blood type equals to blood type dot B plus. All right, there's no way I could get this wrong. I couldn't just say blood type dot B banana, because that doesn't exist in this list of cases that enum supports. Quick note, we usually define the enums themselves in Pascal case because they are types. Each case is camel case, and you can also combine multiple cases in the same line. If you don't want to type the word case so many times, you could do this. A plus, A minus, B plus, B minus, or you can just put them all in the same line. It doesn't really matter. Okay, and one of the key things over here is that after you create something using then enum, if you want to set it again afterwards, you can say my blood type equals, for some reason I've changed blood type, I don't think that's possible, I could do A minus. All right, I've gone from a B plus to an A minus. My Asian parents would be very proud. So here we are in SwiftUI, and I thought I should come back over here just to point out that you have seen and used enums before. You might recall that over here, when you type in something into a property, you don't actually need to type the full thing. Just like how if you were to put dot background, okay, you don't need to say color dot red. You can just say dot red. Okay, and that's a lot like how we treated our enum just now, because Swift implicitly knows what type it is because that's how the parameter has been defined. I want to point out though that dot large over here, this thing right here is an enum. You can press dot over here to see what values it could take. It's large, medium, or small. SwiftUI doesn't ask you to put in a string that says large, medium, or small, nor does it ask you to give it 0, 1, or 2. It predefines these options for you, and you can choose from one of them. Not everything with a dot in front of it is an enum. This same principle also applies to properties. So this accent color right here, that's a property. If I do a dot, you can see this P over here. P stands for property. Okay, so I'm just going to change it to gray, and we're going to call it a day on this video.